Warning. Due to being played on an emulator and just being, well, Harmony of Dissonance, this LP will contain multiple instances of background and foreground images that flash, flicker, or both, or are just incredibly bright and garish. I will try to give warning of the most egregious areas via the subtitles, but in case I slip, please be aware of the possibility if you are visually sensitive. Hey guys, Penna Daily here, and welcome back to Let's Play Castlevania, Harmony of Dissonance. In the last episode, we raced a steel ball around the track, and of course found out that the castle has two sides. Basically a light world and a dark world. We are currently in the dark world castle, generally known as Castle B. You can tell Castle B environments because the foreground tends to be less colorful, much more gray, and the background tends to be more gaudy. As you can see, the red sky. The red sky is kind of a thing. It's not all the areas have red sky, but it's a very common motif. So yes, if you remember the castle treasury and how weirdly dark that looked, that whole area was Castle B. So, we're going, let's see, up is of course the save point. We're not going to deal with that. There we go. And, whoops. No, I have one issue with this. This area tends to be a little samey, and so I can get a little lost. Like this one, I thought I was actually one more corridor over. So right, let's just keep going. Now we go down, and just ignore the peeping eye, and we come to our next boss. No, it's not this little peeping eye. It is this gigantic peeping eye. Yeah, because just like the Max Slimer room, which this room is the counterpart of in all ways except position, we fight a giant version of a regular enemy. So just keep whacking him. Try and keep him about a whip's length away from you at all times. That will generally keep you out of range of the flailing tail. When he does that, major thing, just stay out of his way, because if you try and get in and hit him while it's flapping around like that, you will be hit, and you will not enjoy it. So yeah, stay back, wait till he finishes, move in and start hitting him again. In fact, I find probably the best way to deal with him, if you can, is to jump in and hit him. But, you know, try not to get hit. Alright, let's see. Alright, just keep whacking at him. Now, there's one other thing he can do. He may or may not actually do it. Where he will shut his eye and go bouncing around the place like a super ball on speed. If he does that, you just have to avoid him. His path is pretty standard, standard ricochet pattern. It's pretty. Oh, here he's doing it. Yeah, see, you can. If your timing's better than mine, you can slide under him. But yeah, or jump over him, or you can just not die. Just keep whacking him. Eventually, he will go down. He doesn't have a lot of HP. I don't know why he's a boss. She says, of course, but then I get hit fighting regular enemies, so. And there we leveled up. Yeah. And much like Max Slimer, he explodes into tiny versions of himself. So, whatever. And we get a life max up, which is pretty nice. And we meet the Arabaki. So we're just gonna go this way first, fill out this portion of the map. That takes us, to the front. And oh good, we leveled up again off the Arabakis. That's kind of nice. These guys are based off of a cult deity in Japanese history. Look it up on Wikipedia. It's actually pretty interesting. The actual name is Arahabaki. I'm not sure why maybe space limitations or something. I don't know why they changed it for the English. But we get an elixir, and that is this game's equivalent of the super potion. So if we come up here, we need to go up here, of course, and we get the wind cloak. It basically ups your defense against wind attacks. Yeah, you know what? given all the specters, I'm not dealing with it. Let's just... Ha! Gotcha. Yeah. Alright, so now we're gonna go up. Because, you know, there's that whole area in it. And of course you see some of it, because this castle is more decayed, some of the, some of the gears are missing bits. And again, you know, how did this game get past the censors? Part 3, we have an impaled skeleton, which is probably not that bad, especially if, you know, it's your basic, Castlevania game, but still, it's one of those things that you're sort of like, seriously, guys? So, let's see. We come down here, and if we go down here, we see, that's interesting. Can't get to it yet, though. So, now we come down here just to fill out our map. There is an axe in, as you can see, there's an axe there. The thing is that for the most part, the castle's candles will mirror each other. So if you found an axe in one candle in the Castle A, you will find an axe in the same candle in Castle B. So here we're going to come across this. Remember how I told you? There was a nastier version of this waiting when we were going through the Castle A version? Well, here it is. Now, this is still way better than the one in Aria, because there are many fewer Medusa heads, and they aren't nearly as much of a pain. But we get a high potion, and that's pretty nice. Oh, good. Another nice thing about pretty much any sub-weapon is that you get invincibility frames from activating it. So that can be very useful for a completely, in a completely different way than just using the weapon. So we come down here, and this is where we're going to have to go for practice, but we're kind of going to have to do just a short bit of backtracking. So we come through here, watch out, do this, jump over that, whack him, good, and go past. And then we go up. And that is let's try that again. That is a medicine jar. It looks like furniture, but what it actually is it is temporary invincibility. You could get those in the original Castlevania games. I think they lasted longer in the original Castlevania platformers than they do in this game. They're useful, but very situational. So, just keep whacking him. Try not to get killed. And come through here. Okay. Now we could go down, but we really, really want to go back up first. Yeah, that's one of the things with this castle, is this whole game, the backtracking is sort of a thing. Okay, for these guys, if you can do it, what I suggest you do is hit the armor, dash under the jumping flea man, and then turn right around and hit the flea man. I'm going to not do that quite the same way, because disc armor. Just jump, whack, jump. Yeah, make sure you don't get hit with that on the return, because it will do a lot of damage. I've been killed by that thing before. And I'm going to go back to just on the off chance that there will be more than 2 Medusa heads on my trip across. So yes, by now you should have a slightly better idea of the timing and can jump from one to the other, and you don't have to worry too much about the Medusa heads. Also, you do have the double jump, so if necessary, you can generally recover from a bad jump. But really, again, it's just like I said the last time, it's patience. Make sure your jumps are accurate, be patient, and if you've got Wind Cross, use it so that the Medusa heads don't ruin your day. We'll just wait for that to come back. It's a little slow, but it's, there are worse things. So, yes. And of course, that big heart that first big heart, ow. Yeah, don't get hit. Yeah, stay down like that. Jump. There we go. Ooh, and he dropped a high potion. That's very nice. Ow. Ow. Okay, let's try this again. That's... yeah. You hit it, dash under, turn back, and hit it. And now we're going to go down for real. Whack the skeleton ribs. They drop uncursed potions. For the most part, don't bother with them, though. And we come to... You should know this. We are coming through the back way of the... Really? Of the Aqueduct of Dragons. One of the things that will happen in this game is that if you come into an area that you've already visited in the other castle... Oh, jeez. If you come into an area that you've already visited in the other castle... Screw it. You will not see the area entrance sign. It won't, because as far as the game is concerned, you've already been here. You know what it's called. They don't have different names in different castles the way they did in Symphony of the Night. So we're gonna go down, and we'll go this way first, and meet the Melty Zombie, aka How Did They Get This Game Past the Nintendo Censors Part 4. Yeah, I'm gonna keep coming back to that. So, the Melty Zombies aren't particularly dangerous, except that they can make more of themselves. So, and you can of course run directly into them if you're not paying attention. So, just keep killing them, and make sure that they don't spit, because when they spit, that's how they make more. And it's not only really gross, but, you know, kind of dangerous. So we get a life max up, that's pretty nice, because of course this was where the blue stone was the last time. So, we come this way, and now this way, and we'll be back, we'll go that way when we head out, because of course, we're basically going through the Aqueduct of Dragons in reverse of the way we came through it the first time. And that, of course, there is of course a boss where the devil boss was. And one of the things is that technically, if you're willing to put up with always having to go through the Aqueduct of Dragons to go between the chapel and the clock tower, and you will have to go to the clock tower a lot. But if you're willing to put up with this, you can just completely skip both of those bosses. Now, you probably don't want to, because they give nice experience, and you'll get at least one level from fighting them. But you can if you want. It's an interesting thing, and I'm not entirely sure how I feel about it. But basically what it comes up to is that Harmony of Despair has a lot, or Harmony of Dissonance has a lot of optional bosses because of that design choice. Now, we're going to switch to the Crushing Stone, because these walls, if you hit B and charge up until your aura flashes, and then you do that, you know, can break walls. But the Crushing Stone doesn't do as much damage as the elemental stones, so we'll switch. You gotta switch back off. And of course we can't get through here yet, but we're in the Luminous Cavern. You remember this place. So now we get to go all the way back up and to the Sky Chapel. So that'll be fun, right? And here we go. I gotta say, I kind of like the Aqueduct of Dragons. I think it's an interesting place. It's certainly not as annoying as some sewer levels have been. It helps that it is actually pretty small and short, and, you know, unlike the submerged cavern / underground reservoir of Aria, it's not particularly, you're never, what's the word I'm looking for? Submerged. You don't have to swim. You can't swim in this game. You never go completely underwater. There is, like, one area, and I think it hurts you to go underwater, and you don't get a holy snorkel, or I mean symbol. You just drain the water. But we'll deal with that later. So, keep killing the melty zombies. They're gross, and we get an elixir, and that's pretty handy. So now we get to head up and out. More melty zombies. Yeah, they are basically this area's equivalent of the fishmen. There are fishmen, but only in the giant merman room. Sometimes Castle B is actually easier than Castle A, and sometimes it's harder. I think this place is a lot, for the most part, easier, mostly because Nulty zombies are not nearly as difficult as fishmen, in my opinion. But now, this is the dark area. Now, those are skeleton mirror skeletons, I think. I'm not gonna stay and fight them. I don't think they're worth it. They don't give that much experience, and they're a real pain. So just dash, and they'll never catch up to you. So we come back up this way, and not only are we in the Sky Chapel, woohoo, we get a whole turkey. That's pretty nice. So we're gonna kill this axe armor, yes. And since he's an axe armor, we're going to equip the Yellowstone, because axe armors are weak to thunder. And you want to kill these guys, because level 2 axe armors, in addition to having higher hit points than regular axe armors, have a really nasty charge attack that they can do. They will... did I get... Nope, I didn't get that map completion, so let's get in there and get that. Yeah, ha! Leveled up off ya. Whoop! Yep, watch out for that guy. Yeah, they do this thing where they charge up the axe, and they are completely invulnerable for a few seconds. And then they will, charge at you. And they can do a lot of damage, and they're almost impossible to dodge if they do it in a small corridor, and you just really don't want to deal with it. So, let's see. We've been doing this about 15, not quite 20 minutes. We'll go for a little longer. Maybe we'll fill out this area as much as we can. There are a few bits that we won't deal with just yet. For instance, there's a boss, but we're not going to deal with him at all. We're actually going to deal with that boss, the boss where the devil boss is up there. We will deal with him much later, actually, after we fought a completely different boss. But we'll deal with him, as I said, much later. So come up here, and I can't remember if I filled this area out or not on my other map. Let's take a look. Nope, no, I need to fill that, come back and fill that out. That area is actually really easy to miss in either castle. So, we just head up. On the bright side, on the downside, these axe armors are kind of difficult enemies, but on the bright side, there's no balloons. And that's really, really nice. So, ow. Really, dude? There we go. And we come up here, and there is, of course, a king-sized bed. How Juste is fitting that in his pocket, I have no idea. Ow. Luckily, just keep your head down, and axes thrown on that level will go right over you. He can throw his axe at the lower level, but, oop, nope, no, I don't want the Bible. The Bible is nice, but I want the cross. Thank you. Okay, so heart max up, which is nice. And now we're gonna basically fill out the rest of the Sky Chapel, or the Sky Walkway, and probably the Chapel of maybe... Actually, I think... let's check out the map here. Okay, we've been doing this not quite 20 minutes. Alright, let's see here. I mean, we do want to fill out the chapel, so let's go up and do this area too. Alright, so up here. Now, there is a new guy here. Meet the Spriggan. He is nasty. He hits really hard, and at this point in time, he will hurt you a lot, and he takes a lot of punishment. I think he's metal armored. Spriggans are actually sort of nasty fairies from European mythology, but I think this guy looks like an armored guy because he's also a sort of a reference to the fairly well-known anime and manga series Spriggan, because they did have armor in that. So now, of course, we come through here, and if you watch these light bits, usually you just get a white, normal lightning coming through the window thing. And every so often you see a creepy face. It's one of those little things that this game does so well. Now that Spriggan luckily, if you kill him, he will not respawn. He is, much like that victory armor we faced way back when, a sort of uncredited mid-boss. So, we come up here, and axe armor. Be careful, don't whip the candles around here because they have axes in them. It is the corridor of axes. There we go. And a level up is always nice. Alright, now there is a thing we can get up here in really much the same way as as we got the Eye of Blood. However, it requires you to do jumps off of these specters, and it's harder, and you will get hurt a lot more if you screw it up. So you may not think it's worth it. I'm probably going to try it like once or twice at least. We do have to come back here eventually, so, you know, if you can't get it now, it's not going to be really out of your way, but you might still want to deal with it. So we get the hero statue, and then this jerk. Kill him. Okay. And you have to be careful, because unlike the flaying bones, these jerks don't respawn. So, you know, in fact, you know, stay away from that guy, because, okay, let's see here. Yeah, okay, we get this hint card, which, let's take a look. Items. And we go down, and we get hint card. Okay, hint card 4, I'm not sure. We got that in one of the towers. Some spells can be cast multiple times. And the red book and the dagger share a secret. I'm not actually sure what that means. I know what all of them do. I guess that, I know that basically you can actually screw around with things. If you, okay, yeah, you can sort of lure this guy over, and if you lure him over, you can jump on him, but you gotta be careful. For one thing, he's gotta come up. Just keep doing this, and hopefully he should come up. And let's see. Yeah, you've got to get him. Yeah, there he died, and I'm not even sure there's enough. We can lure this guy over, but I don't think, let's see. Is that gonna kill him? Yeah. Yeah, he died, see. Yeah, it's really, it's difficult, and I'm not sure it's worth it. So just come up here for the mana prism and the heart max up, and, you know, you get it on your map for now, and then don't worry about it. So, now that we've done that, let's head down. We're gonna head out. Let's see. Yep, we filled that all in. And we're gonna fight one more boss today and call it a day. So, although, you know, we're gonna have some moving around to do, too. So this is gonna be a slightly longer episode, but hey. Alright, kill that guy. Go down. Okay. Yeah, this is, I mean, you see how the walls are falling in here in places where they aren't. It's all part of the double castle aesthetic. This castle is more corrupt, because it is the evil castle. But I really enjoy the fact that, you know, pretty much anything you do in one world will be echoed in the other. That was a thing I would have liked to see more of in Link to the Past. For all that they talked about things, you know, happening that way, it didn't really happen that way. Alright, so we got just a little more really to go. Watch out for that Arabaki. Ow! Jerk. Okay, so we come through here, and we can drop down here, and we drop down here, of course. And the first thing we want to get is we get a rocking chair, and watch out for him, and an old radio. Now, I haven't actually done a lot of research, but I'm pretty sure in 1750, Marconi really hadn't perfected his wireless radio yet. I mean, even they say, you know, it's from the hand of the inventor himself and it's a prototype, but still, I think it's a little early for that. Okay, meet the ruler sword level 3. Really powerful, really annoying. Let's just move on. And we get a heart max up, which is nice, and this is, of course, where in Castle A was the warp. So, yeah, we now see that the warps are not the same between castles. So, we're gonna come up here. This is a blizzard robe, and it gives protection against ice/water spells. You are really annoying me, dude. So, anyway, we got one last place to come, and that's gonna be a boss. Let's see. I know it's in the original. Let's see. Nope, nothing up there. Well, you know, you gotta check. And no fist. So we come through here. Obviously, we have to equip the crushing stone. Yeah, and there we go. And we get a level max up because there isn't a save point around here. And we're gonna need that because we're gonna face a boss. We will go back. I don't think this particular boss is immune to any particular elements. Oh, I see you are still alive. Maxim? No, you're not Maxim. Huh, you're on to me. What the hell are you? I am myself, just not the me that you knew in the past. This man's suppressed desires, coupled with his possession of Dracula's remains, gave rise to a separate spirit. And that other spirit is me. I'm not sure if he's even aware of my existence. And it was also you who kidnapped Lydie? Of course it was my doing. She belongs to me. But he went and lost his memory and doesn't even know where she is. But he will retrieve his memory soon. When he does, she'll be all mine. Damn you! Sure about that? If I die, your best friend will perish with me. He says that a lot. Your death is at hand. Die, you vile dog. Meet the Shadow. I am a shadow, the true self. Alright, I'm sorry, I like Persona. Okay, so he has 4 forms. The Shadow Face form, which is just basically, ow, rats. Yeah, the Shadow Face form cannot hurt you. It's basically just a transitional form. Then there's the Panther, which will run at you. The Sword, which I believe can curse you. Yeah, just keep whacking it. It can be a weird creature to fight because of its odd shape and odd movements. But, you know, just keep whacking at it when it's in range. And then the Moth. For the Moth, I kind of suggest you use Wind Cross or Fire Bible, something that hits up so that you don't have to get to where you'll be hit by its dust, because that dust will poison you, because it's a poison moth. And then it goes back to the Panther. Okay, yeah. The first howl, it's going to charge. When it howls a second time, then it's going to jump at you. You can slide under the jump. Just keep whacking at it, and you'll eventually kill it. It's not a particularly difficult boss. Wind Cross can be useful. You know, just try and stay out of the way, and there, see, it's dead. And then it goes through the usual shapeshifter swan song, and bursts into flames. And there we go. We have beaten that boss. Alright, now, our next order of business, we are actually, to progress the plot, we have to go back, to Castle A. Sorry. Okay, so yeah, next order of business is, to progress the plot, we have to go back to Castle A. Really? And to do that, we have to go fight, of course, the main... The next boss. Well, we don't have to, but we might as well because I don't want to go through the Aqueduct of Dragons the whole time. So, we want to go save, and we're going to call it there. Because there's also a very good reason to go into the save point besides wanting to save. You know, you've probably noticed before that wall looks a little funky. Well, when you do this, yeah, you can break it. And we find the Heart of Vlad. So let's see. We have the Eye of Vlad. The Heart of Vlad has the power to negate petrification. And that's pretty nice, though petrification isn't really a thing in this game. So we have 4 of the 6 pieces of Dracula. And so we're going to call it here. Next time, we will fight a boss, head back to Castle A, and go see what's going on in the same place we fought Shadow, now that we've opened it up. So, I will see you next time. Have a great day.